In the center of the bustling Atlanta nightclub, Rashida remained still, her eyes wide with terror as the flashing lights caught every horrific moment. The man she had referred to as her rock, Kirk Frost, had just launched an unexpectedly violent attack that was captured on camera. At one point, music and laughter filled the room. Then there were cries that split the air like broken glass, bodies slamming against tables, and fists flying. "You believe that in my own city, you can treat me with such disrespect?" With a roar that could be heard above the pounding bass, Kirk sprang forward with unadulterated rage. Kirk's punch connected with a sickening snap, sending the man tumbling into a VIP booth with blood splattering across the costly leather. The target was a rival from the hip-hop scene who had been trading nasty words with him all night. However, this was no longer just words. Rashida's heart raced as she saw the love of her life change into someone she didn't recognize. "Kirk, stop." Security arrived too late, phones already out filming every explosive detail. "What are you doing?" Her voice broke as she screamed. However, the damage was already done, as evidenced by the camera footage that is currently making the rounds on social media, a heated argument that escalated from old grudges over money, loyalty, and past betrayals in the love and hip-hop Atlanta circle. Whispers had been circulating for weeks. Tensions between Kirk and this newcomer had been building, fueled by rumors of stolen deals, hidden affairs, and dirty business in the industry. However, no one anticipated it to blow up like this. Fans are already going crazy. "This is the genuine Kirk we've never seen." One comment went viral. Rashida, who is always the strong, astute queen keeping everything together, seems completely broken. Tears were streaming down her face as she tried to pull him back, her hands shaking. Was this the last straw in their troubled marriage? The violent outburst wasn't just about one fight, it opened old wounds from their public breakups, baby mama drama, and unending trust issues that had dogged them for years. Friends raced to separate the men as club turmoil broke out, but the real storm was only getting started. Rashida was so astonished that she sobbed and murmured, "I can't believe you went this far." The footage is all over the place, and the Atlanta hip-hop scene is on fire. She had no idea that this one violent night was going to reveal secrets that might destroy all they've achieved. As Rashida stood there in utter disbelief, her world collapsing around her, the grainy club camera footage played on repeat across every social media platform, showing Kirk Frost in a full-blown rage unleashing punches that left everyone stunned. Who will stand by Kirk now? Can Rashida ever forgive the monster she just witnessed? The drama is only getting started. This was not the Kirk of their love and hip-hop Atlanta days. Rather, it was a man driven to the brink by years of pent-up tension, betrayal, and street code that ultimately exploded in front of Rashida's eyes. Fans are so shocked that they are leaving comments asking questions like, how could Kirk do this to their family image? And what mysteries were behind that brutal assault? Rashida grasped Kirk's arm and made a valiant attempt to yank him back, but her hands trembled. Rashida's heart broke as she watched the man she loved change into someone she hardly recognized. "Kirk, stop. You think you can disrespect me like that in my own city?" Kirk had roared before the first punch landed hard on his rival, a rising hip-hop figure, who had been making fun of Kirk's previous business dealings and rumored side situations. The argument had started small over drinks but quickly turned personal, with old grudges resurfacing about money, loyalty, and who really ran the Atlanta scene. "What are you doing?" Her voice cracked over the loud music as the night unfolded. Rashida found herself in the back of a luxury SUV, racing away from the scene, her phone blowing up with calls from family and cast members from Love and Hip Hop, who had already seen the clips. "What happened out there, girl?" With terrified voices, they inquired. Rashida had always been the strong one, the business queen constructing their empire while Kirk navigated the streets, but this attack made her question everything they had rebuilt together. Little did she know that this was just the beginning of a storm that would reveal deeper secrets from their past, including hidden financial deals gone wrong and whispers of infidelity that had been simmering under the surface for months. Back at their mansion, Rashida confronted Kirk the moment he walked through the door. The family was split as Kirk walked the room attempting to defend himself. "Kirk, how could you let it get that far in public with cameras everywhere? You know, our kids look up to us." "What kind of example is this?" she said, her voice shaking with dread and rage. "Rashida," he replied, his voice still full of energy, "I had to show him. You don't mess with Kirk Frost. That fool was coming for everything we built." Tears were streaming down Rashida's face. After so many comebacks on the show and in real life, she accused him of ruining their hard-won peace. Meanwhile, word quickly spread throughout the Atlanta hip-hop scene, with old friends and rivals taking sides. Some reached out to Rashida, offering support, while others hyped up Kirk's actions online, calling them street justice. Fans from all over the world responded, shocked at how quickly their favorite couple's drama had turned violent. One well-known blogger wrote, "This might be the end of Rashida and Kirk as we know it." After seeing that clear camera footage, the personal stakes were enormous for Rashida, who had invested years into their brand, their businesses, and their public image as a power couple. Now, everything hung in the balance as she wondered if she could stand by a man capable of such an outburst in front of the world. The first twist came when the rival released his own statement claiming Kirk had been threatening him for weeks over a stolen music deal and that the attack was premeditated. Not self-defense, this bombshell sent shockwaves through their circle, leaving Rashida even more stunned as she dug deeper into old messages and financial records, discovering connections she never knew existed. Kirk tried to reassure her later that night, holding her close and saying, "Baby, I did this for us, for our family," but Rashida pulled away her trust. "You constantly say that," shattered. "But look where it got us," she retorted. The argument, which was filled with hurt and betrayal, intensified into the early hours of the morning. Raised voices could be heard throughout the house as they recounted past arguments from their reality TV days, including public separations and humiliations. However, this time it felt different, more dangerous, and raw. As the violent footage continued to play on news websites, friends of the Love and Hip Hop family began phoning in to offer advice. Some advised Rashida to leave, while others suggested they make a special episode to deal with the chaos head-on. The family drama escalated when Kirk's children from past relationships became involved and expressed their own fears and disappointments online, which only served to fuel the fire. Rashida found herself torn between loyalty and self-preservation, her emotions a whirlwind of love, anger, and confusion as she realized that this one night could destroy everything they had worked so hard to create. As dawn broke over Atlanta, Rashida sat by herself on the edge of their bed, staring at the frozen image of Kirk's attack on her phone, the shock still fresh in her mind. She knew that the days ahead would bring more twists, accusations, and possibly legal issues, but deep down, she wondered if their bond was strong enough to withstand this latest storm or if this violent outburst was the last cut in their legendary relationship. Fans waited anxiously as Rashida scrolled through the countless notifications on her phone. The next bombshell hit like a ton of bricks. A leaked audio recording from the club that night surfaced online, accusing his rival of having an affair with one of their close associates and attempting to undermine their family business empire. As the recording began to play, fans erupted in horror. Kirk yelled, "You've been plotting on me for months, thinking I wouldn't find out about you and that snake in our circle." The voice in the background sounded familiar, too familiar, like someone from their inner Love and Hip Hop circle who had visited their home for dinners and events. This new twist sent Rashida into a spiral of doubt and betrayal, and she confronted Kirk once more in their living room, her voice rising with raw emotion. Rashida listened in horror, her stomach turning into knots. "Is this accurate, Kirk? Are you making things up to defend your actions, or did you know about this affair prior to the altercation?" "Baby, I swear some of it is true, but I lost control," he said, pacing back and forth while his face reddened with sorrow and rage. "I was keeping us safe. Shielding you from the vultures that are circling our achievements. You always say protecting us, but look at the mess now. Our kids are seeing this online. Our brand is crumbling and the entire Atlanta scene is laughing at us," Rashida said, shaking her head and shedding tears. As Rashida called her closest girlfriends from the show for emergency advice, the family became even more divided as Kirk's former baby mamas reached out to her with conflicting messages, some offering sisterhood and others stirring the pot with old receipts from previous drama. They gathered at a private location, whispering about how Kirk's violent attack had exposed marital cracks that no amount of on-screen makeup could hide. Meanwhile, the rival recovered in the hospital and dropped another "we were done with the streets," she told him during a furious late-night argument, "but here we are again." Kirk responded with fire in his eyes, "I ain't no puppet." She reflected on all of their love and hip-hop moments, the public proposals, the breakups, the reconciliations, and now this violent outburst felt like the ultimate test you promised me after the last scandal. Fans poured in thousands of comments, some defending Kirk as a real one who handled business, while others blasted him, saying Rashida should leave and build her own legacy without the drama. As the days went by, the story took yet another unexpected turn when a former friend from their circle came forward with text messages, proving Kirk had been warned about the rival weeks earlier but chose to ignore it instead, fueling the beef with his own shady deals. This revelation left Rashida stunned and questioning every late-night meetings Kirk had claimed was business. Kurt tried to make amends by surprising her with flowers in a heartfelt apology speech, saying, "Baby, I know I messed up bad, but we built this. From nothing, we can fix it together." His words were emotional, and for a brief moment, Rashida softened, remembering the passion that kept them coming back to each other. She locked herself in their bedroom, reliving old episodes of their reality show days, wondering how they went from power couple goals to this chaotic nightmare. Despite everything, Rashida felt the weight of it all on her shoulders as the strong black queen who had held everything down for years. She was the one breaking down in private moments, whispering to herself, "How did we get here again?" The family drama intensified when their children started asking tough questions about the viral videos and why Daddy was fighting on camera. Friends in the hip-hop community picked sides hard, with some artists posting subtle disses online and others reaching out privately to mediate the situation. Another video that surfaced showed the rival discussing past infidelity with Kirk just prior to the incident, which justified Kirk's emotional reaction but did not justify the brutality in Rashida's eyes. This was just one more twist. With a serious expression on her face, she sat Kirk down and demanded complete openness from him. "Tell me everything. No more secrets if we are going." She stood at the window overlooking the city that had both blessed and cursed their relationship, wondering if forgiveness was possible after witnessing Kirk at his most violent. The drama showed no signs of slowing down with each new leak, adding layers of betrayal and conflict to their already complex love story. And just as Rashida thought she had heard the worst, another insider revealed information that threatened to blow their entire world apart once and for all, leaving everyone wondering if their marriage could withstand the ultimate test of loyalty and trust in the spotlight. In the spotlight, this most recent revelation came in the form of a mysterious envelope delivered to their doorstep containing photos and documents that proved Kirk had been involved in covert meetings with the rival months prior to the attack, not for beef but for a shady business deal that went sour over stolen profits from a joint venture. Fans erupted with theories online, and Rashida felt her knees buckle as she spread the evidence across the kitchen table. "Kirk, what is this?" Her voice trembled with a mixture of sadness and anger as she demanded. "You told me it was all about respect, but you were in bed with him, both literally and figuratively." Kirk initially remained stunned before erupting in defense, saying, "Baby, those pictures are old. I was trying to secure our future." The family drama reached new heights when Rashida called an emergency meeting with their closest circle from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Old cast members showed up, offering shoulders to weep on, but also stirring the pot with their own opinions. When things got twisted, he reached for her, but she stepped back, her eyes blazing with accusations. "This is exactly why I can't trust you anymore." One friend bluntly said, "Girl, you deserve better than this street mess Kirk has put you through too many times." As the meeting unfolded, more twists emerged when a castmate revealed overheard conversations about Kirk's wandering eye and possible involvement with a younger aspiring artist linked to the rival this bombshell hit. Rashida like a freight train, sending her into a full emotional breakdown in front of everyone. "I sacrificed everything for us," she sobbed. "My businesses, my image, my peace, and you repay me with violence and lies." With a fiery voice, Kirk attempted to defend himself, saying the rival had blackmailed him. With their joint ventures facing lawsuits, their children confused and calling every day, and the public scrutiny turning their lives into a never-ending spectacle, fans flooded social media with divided opinions. Some posted Rashida deserves the world, while others supported Kirk, saying real men handle threats their way. However, Rashida was done listening for the moment she stormed out of the meeting. As Rashida threw herself into damage control mode and met with lawyers and publicists, the hip-hop community watched closely as old rivals used the chaos to throw subtle shots, interviews, and tracks, amplifying the drama. One evening, Kirk surprised her with a grand gesture, setting up a private dinner at home with candles and their favorite songs playing. "Baby, I know I've messed up bad, but I'm fighting for us, for our legacy," he said, his voice cracking with rare vulnerability. Rashida sat across from him. Her heart was torn between the pain of his actions and the love she still felt. "You say that every time after the storm, but then another one hits," she said, tears welling up. They talked long into the night, recounting their whole journey from early love and hip-hop days to building an empire, only to watch it teeter on the edge of collapse due to this violent attack. The conversation brought some raw honesty, with Rashida expressing how tired she was from always being the strong one, holding it together, and Kirk admitting his fears of losing status in Atlanta. However, the family was further shattered when Kurt's children from previous relationships posted encouraging messages for their father, which clashed with Rashida's silence online and sparked more fan debates and accusations of favoritism.